Hey guys, Eric here with Sky Castle Real Estate, bringing you the best tips and resources from a broker and builder perspective. Alright, let's get into it. The 7 reasons you should own real estate to build a legacy. Leverage. Real estate is one of the few assets where you can use enormous amounts of leverage to own an asset and banks will happily lend it to you. Leverage is a way to amplify the returns you receive on that asset in both directions. Leverage is both beneficial and dangerous, so make sure that leverage is working in your favor. If you want to buy a home to live in, most lenders will allow you to put down between 5 and 20% of the purchase price in cash. If you're buying a $200,000 home, then this means you are putting down $10,000 to $40,000 and getting a mortgage for the remainder. Debt reduction via inflation. There have been decades of consistent inflation. This inflation has also created an enormous opportunity for property owners to profit from their mortgage. This technique is one of the most powerful and misunderstood benefits of owning real estate. It is a form of compound interest which takes time to the right conditions to work. Essentially what happens is during times when inflation is constant, as it has been for the past 50 years, the real value of $1 declines. If you have $100 and inflation is 2%, then next year your $100 will buy you $98 worth of goods and services. The following year it could be worth $96. This concept carries over into debt as well. Let's say, for example, that you have a 30-year interest-only mortgage of $100,000 with a 2% inflation rate, and you never pay principal during that 30-year period. At the end of 30 years, you would have to pay back the full $100,000 of principal in order to pay off the loan. However, after 30 years, the value of the mortgage will be worth 45.5% less in real terms due to inflation. The concept we are discussing here is that you are essentially paying back the debt with inflated dollars. Limited supply and constant demand of real estate. There is a static supply of land and increasing demand for it. If you use the simple economic principle of supply and demand, a static supply of something with an increasing demand causes prices to rise. This, combined with a basic need for people to live somewhere, ensures a future need for real estate. Assuming you're not looking to sell your home located in a place like this, there should be a market for it. The slow rise of the population should over time increase the price of that real estate. This is why real estate has, for over 100 years, been one of the best hedges against inflation. The inflation-proof asset. Robert Shiller, a Yale economist famously known for his Case-Shiller Home Price Index, put together this historical chart of American homes prices back to 1890 and how they have changed compared to inflation. This is the real value of real estate. It means that if the line is above 100, then real estate has increased more than inflation, and a value below 100 means that real estate is increasing less than inflation. Real estate does well against inflation over long periods of time. What is important to note in this chart is that while people have owned real estate for centuries, the value of their primary asset has not been devalued by the invisible tax known as inflation. Tax benefits. In the U.S., there are many tax benefits available to property owners. Deductions for mortgage interest payments, depreciation, and property expenses. The best way to look at real estate is the same way you would look at it for business. Owning a business provides that business with certain tax deductions. These tax deductions are intended to provide incentives for that business to grow and reinvest in ways to improve that business. Real estate is much the same as a business. The tax incentives available to owners of real estate are available to incentivize the owners to reinvest in the property and improve it. These tax benefits also incentivize people to buy property, which helps increase the demand for homes. Tax incentives can be quite substantial when it comes to real estate, so find out how they can benefit you. Cash flow. If you're buying real estate as an investment, then cash flow is one of the benefits you should be considering. It's not as sexy as capital appreciation, but it is consistent. And as inflation rises, it should increase each year. This means that passive income from real estate is pegged to inflation. I don't know of many other investments that have this type of income benefit. If you are investing in real estate, cash flow should be at the top of your list. Asset appreciation. Asset appreciation is essentially the growth of the value of the real estate. Over time, this tends to be the case as long as inflation is a consistent trend. Since real estate tends to keep pace with inflation, it is important for inflation to be present. Asset appreciation is the one variable with real estate that you cannot predict with a high degree of certainty. While the current trend is that home prices will rise slowly over time, there are those periods in time where this is not always the case. So how do you plan to build your legacy? What is your next step? For most people, it's a matter of buying the next home. And if you like more information about the home buying process, I've included a link below which will give you the complete home buyer's guide, which I put together and I provide for all of my clients here in Colorado. I'm Eric Dennison with Sky Castle Real Estate, bringing you the best tips and resources from a broker and builder perspective. Now go build your legacy. With the complete home buyer's guide, which I created and sended. I sended it out.